Grace and peace. I don't have those. I don't have those headphones, those factory or those other ones. So I'm not sure what the audio is going to be like. I put out some videos. I do some lives, and I notice later on it sounded a little muffled. And I don't have my little fancy stand too. Um, I just want to talk about this class, this thing that we got going on. I'll put a zoom out. Do me a favor, just put a thumbs up. Good to see you, sister. Ashley. I put the Zoom link out there, and I think the Zoom thing, I've been doing that stream, y'all, but I think the Zoom is working for classes, especially with the older ones. So we're gonna use that same link. I think I put it back out there for another 8 sessions, so we have like 7 more when we're talking about the canon of scripture, and the great divide. It's just a lot going on in general. It's a lot going on in this country. Little boy shot in his head, and we comparing him to George Floyd. It seems like whoever puts the information out first and the fastest. Thank you. We appreciate you, son. Kiss. We we just got a lot going on. It seems like whoever put the information out. I'm looking at this Harris lady thing come up, and it looked like they're trying to pull the same thing that they pulled before. They're trying to pull some birth certificate stuff. She's not legit. You know, the crazy stuff that we tend to do as believers. These are just things that, hey, grace and peace, sir. And these are things that we just, these are things that we just do out here. It's crazy between that and y'all know me. We got our individual rants now. Y'all know I'm on my individual rant with information. I want information to come out, and I want information to be fair. But a lot of times the information is not fair. We're leaning towards one side. Now, y'all know it seems like every time I start talking, I'm going straight to the Christmas tree, Rev C. I don't know if I could trust y'all. I don't know if I can trust y'all if y'all telling me the tree don't have an origin that's not Christian Judeo. Y'all don't want to use the word. Y'all don't want me to use certain words, but I'm going to use. Hey, Pastor. Y'all don't want me to use certain words, but I'm going to use some words. I'm going to use words like pagan. Y'all don't want to hear pagan. And it seems like some people have put out certain amount of information to bang for their side, and I'm heavily against that. I'm really against that. So we're going to go into that. We're going to just talk about the great divide, how people put information out here, and how it's so crazy. And I can't lie, I'm getting a good bit of I'm getting a good bit of questions and stuff from people that consider themselves Israel and this and that, and they're talking about the church, and church being the whore of Babylon. Is the Christian church the whore of Babylon? Because we practice some things that are not biblical. It surprised me that the scholars, or whoever these other great leaders are, would say certain things and attempt to defend certain things that's clearly not Bible. We're not looking good out here. Somebody said, don't start talking about them pagan holidays. I'm not even going to get into them pagan holidays, but on the side, I'm going to show y'all some things. We'll talk about that tree in Germany and Martin Luther. And it's so funny how certain people, they'll spin a certain thing. What's the name of that documentary? I posted that in I put that post up there. I said, y'all got to look for that on the Prime, the Amazon Prime. It's called White Saviors, I believe it is. It has to do with race in the church. A white savior, yes, Lachat, white savior. And it has to do with race in the church. And it's some interesting information in there. That's all I can say. There's a lot of brothers out here that feel a certain way about Christianity, so they go to different movements. They hold on to the Bible, but they'll go to different movements. And then you have other people that say, the Bible can't be our book. Thank you so much, Brian. We really appreciate you and that super chat. And they say the Bible can't be our book because look at how the Europeans moved with Christianity hand in hand with supremacy. We try to fight and argue and defend, and it's a lot going on. White savior, racism in American church. And there's things that we have to talk about. They brought something interesting out in that movie. They said in that documentary, they say we basically we're not forced, like, they have affirmative action with certain companies. So I'll put out, they didn't say these names, I'll put it out there, but Google got to have some black people in there. Facebook got to have some black people in staff. And because the way things are written up in this country, affirmative action, and you need to get some black folk in some of these positions. But in church, we have our freedom to do what we want. And a majority of people still would rather go worship, according to surveys. The average person still want to go worship with people that look like them. It's interesting. Brother Rob was on there. I see some other sharp people in there, some thinking people with degrees and everything inside there. And they say a lot of interesting stuff far as worshiping and just European attitudes in general. When white people come to evangelize in a certain neighborhood and they're coming like, now we're coming with the true gospel of Christ to give you people. And a lot of people's offended by that. You don't think God is moving by his spirit among Latin people, among black people? And it's just an attitude that come with it. If you're black in America and you don't want to hear no Christianity from a European, it's not the end of the world. I believe God will understand that, because there's so many things that need to get explained. Last week, I got a few emails because I turned around and I said something. I said, I'm tired of reading commentary by old white men. Old white men and viewing through their lens, viewing Christ and giving me God through their lens. Because everybody have a lens, and if you're not pure, if your heart is not washed in the blood, I don't care about no degree. If your heart is purely not washed, you're gonna look at this thing and you're gonna interpret this thing your way. And these people have interpreted this thing their way, and a lot of people, from the Native Americans to us, so many other people have been jammed up. Indians have been jammed up, messing around with the church, the Catholic Church, the Protestant Church. We got to ask different questions when it comes down to the church. How much influence does the Catholic Church have right now on Protestants, on Lutherans, on other people that are quote unquote different branches of the church? It's interesting how we don't want to offend nobody and how we want to argue for this great gospel to be preached. And the gospel that we preach in, y'all say these other people are not preaching a sound gospel, but the gospel that we're preaching, this gospel is the same gospel as the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church, calling on Mary, purgatory, all them other books, all of dealing with the Pope being the, I don't know who y'all think that Pope is, but that Pope ain't Bible. Let me just give y'all that right there. But I can't do that. I can't talk about it because y'all will get offended. And we're living in a time where we're supposed to be friends with everybody, and we're supposed to get, except the Israelites. We can get along with everybody except the Israelites, because the Israelites are dark like me, and so we can't get along with them. And we got to examine a lot of stuff, and we got to sit down and make sure we're doing this thing and we're thinking with our good mind. Because if we're not thinking with our good mind, somebody can say something, but because they're the enemy, I can't agree with them. I hope Yolanda in here. I'm going towards that tree. I thought them guys were going to stand and say that Christmas tree wasn't Bible. They argued and said that Christmas tree wasn't pagan. They argued the word pagan because the camps were doing that, and other people that consider themselves Israel were standing and speaking against that tree and certain things that were in the church that wasn't original to the Bible. So they had to turn around and flip the script instead of agreeing, because they can't agree with those guys. We know who to go against. We can't go against them certain European evangelicals. We can't go against them. We can't go against jury. Ministers know who to go against. They know what they're dealing with. They know what's career killers. So we got to talk in private. We got to bring some things out. Good to see you, John. We got to bring some things out, because I think I can make a good argument that tree came from Europe, that bonfire. And I got a good argument that I could ride with that Halloween being demonic. I got a good argument that Easter egg ain't of Jesus. That Easter egg ain't of Paul and them. That Easter egg ain't of Mary and Barnabas and the early church fathers. That Easter, I got a good argument December 25th. Y'all play games with me. I know y'all got degrees, but I got a good argument. But we got to talk on the side, because the degreed folk are saying one thing and everybody in the crowd's riding with them, because that's the proper thing to do, because only those dark skin, only those devils over there is saying it's not right. And then y'all going to run me. Y'all read the Greek and you don't understand Romans 14. Let every man be, we a few of us persuaded, but who's going to put out the evidence? Let the chips fall where they may. Let's just put the evidence out there. If Jesus had this, if the early disciples did this, if Mary, I want to do what Mary and them did. I want to do what Barnabas and Mark and Paul and them. I want to do what the early church folk did. The ones that had the power. If they did it, we could say they did it. If they didn't do it, why can't we come and sit down and say, no, they didn't do it? We picked it up as from our European friends from Germany and other places. And then the tree came in, and the Druids, who we said Halloween and stuff came from, the pagan Druids, the magicians, the Satanists. They had trees, and we took the trees, and as people started getting saved, we started putting decorations on the tree to show the work of God, so that we decorated the tree. It's okay to talk about the history of Santa Claus. I think all of that stuff is okay. But when we take a thing and like I said, and I think I can prove that we took some things following the Catholic Church. We've took some pagan elements. The Roman Catholic Church is wholly pagan. Let me give y'all that right now. It's wholly pagan, and it's wholly the mystery schools and the occult that have continued from Kemet, that have continued from Babylon, that have continued, that ran all up in Germany, all up in Europe, all up in them Latin countries, all over the place. To this day is a pagan demonic system. Now, if people are trying to say that a Protestant, as a Protestant, am I following that? Am I influenced by that? The mere fact that they say that, I'm offended, but we'll have to look into it. I can't just turn around and tell you folk what I want to tell y'all folk just because I got a channel and y'all folk believe it. No, it doesn't work like that anymore. Just because them guys got a church, it doesn't work like that anymore. We got to examine this whole thing. We got to examine. Let's just take our time. Let's just look at this whole thing. If this Sunday is devil worship, if this Sunday came from somewhere else in the world, let's just examine it. Let's examine and put everything on the table. Oh no, I can't talk about tree. You're lying to them in here now. Midsummer, high summertime, and I'm talking about that tree. And I'm talking about that Easter egg, and I'm talking about some other things, because there's some things that we're making ourselves look bad. We're making ourselves look bad. We talk about slavery in the Bible. We're making ourselves look bad, not explaining the whole entire story. How them European scholars took that book, Slave, Obey Your Masters, and them old white men and them commentaries flipped this story around, and Europe ran amok. And they've received trillions from rape in Africa and preaching another gospel. Y'all talking about the Israelites. Who but them Europeans preached another gospel that we was 3/5. But no, you're not talking about that. You're dividing. Do you love, another fool said? Do you love vocab? I got to keep bringing that up because that's funny to me. Demonetize vocab, what you call it. You see, ask vocab who hit his jack. You funny dudes. It's just a funny time. But we got to talk. But we can't talk in public because people will get offended that you don't ride with them, that you don't do what they want you to do. So truth, and the way truth is put out there, it's funny, but truth doesn't work like that. Scholarship doesn't work like that. It doesn't matter who put out what information first, because we're seeing a lot of manipulation through the internet and through different people with things coming out, but that's not how truth works. Truth is a being, truth is Christ. And when we start saying we want Christ, we got to follow truth wherever truth lands you, wherever it lands you. If I'm a Pentecostal and we're going into this thing on Pentecost and tongues and magic and the occult doctrine and a satanic tongue, if we're doing that and what we're doing is not Bible and I can't trace this all the way back, it's a problem. Wherever that truth fall, I might have to give it up. It might be hocus pocus we doing up in these churches. Not all, but it might be some hocus pocus. The devil, y'all told me, the devil is a liar. So if I sense any lies anywhere, in tradition, in doctrine, in seminary, in European commentaries, it is the devil, and the devil's a lie. And y'all told me I got to tell the devil he's a lie. I got to put the lie down. That's what y'all told me. My mom and them told me that you got to put it down. You got to put it down and follow truth. As the light shine in my path, so if we're re-examining things and we're looking at things, if some stuff is shining in our path and we're seeing some stuff that we've been traditionally doing in the black church that may be wrong, we gotta ride with it. Oh, them people of Israel, and then you ride it with that dude Dante and them other dudes, we don't see their face on the camera. And listen, I'm riding with truth. It bothers y'all because y'all think I switched the game up. I ain't never switched the game up. I always been on the truth game. And then when I see y'all, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth right now. If I find out you urban apologists, if I find out y'all lied about that Christmas tree, if I find out y'all trying to flip the script about that tree, about anything, talking about y'all woke, y'all dealing with higher knowledge and y'all bringing out the truth, if I find out anything, I'm gonna feel some type of way. I'm already right here like I can't trust y'all. And this is just what it is. And everybody, y'all ain't got to ride with me. But this is what, as for me and my house, I'm going with the truth. So if I find out you put all of this stuff out here and you said all of this stuff and I can show and prove for real that that tree ain't right and exact, for real that that tree ain't legit, how am I going to trust y'all when it come down to these other people? How am I going to trust y'all? I know y'all got bigger degrees than me. But how can I trust y'all? I'm watching y'all. I'm watching y'all and y'all get offended. Like I'm telling y'all right now, this is ignorant unk showing up. And when I show up to the cookout, when I show up to the pool party, they get offended. They're supposed to be offended, but what they're going to do, they know they can't put me out. This is daddy's house. This is daddy's cookout. So I'm coming, I'm a child of the king too. So I can come and I can build. But I ain't building like them. That's the other side of the family, but it's our father's house. So he can't put me out. They can't put me out. We gonna listen. Listen, y'all making me leak that Jesus only. Let me see. When we start getting down to that Jesus and looking unto him, we're gonna figure out if we really looking unto him. We're gonna really figure it out. Because you don't have to have Europeans over you to have a European colonized mindset, a colonized spirituality that a lot of people really don't want. And like I said, ultimately, it is not really about black and white, but it is a problem. It's a problem out here. And I'm watching y'all. Oh, can nobody get together and say, well, these people are right on this. They are right on that. Everything them other people say is wrong. Those are indicators right there. Those are indicators right there. And because those are indicators, we got to bring things out. People can say, you can ride Romans 14 if you want. Every man got the freedom to do whatever. Listen, our community's in trouble. Our communities have a shortage of men. Our communities, our churches do. So I'm worried about what's going on in my church. If y'all ain't, in my neighborhood, y'all not worried about it. Now, if them people are over there and they're winning people over for silly stuff, like slavery, like y'all say, and we're not really explaining, for silly stuff like the tree and pagan and this and that, for silly stuff, I would put the silly stuff down. Lay aside every sin and weight. I ain't saying you can't do what you want to do at your house, but when we start bringing it in the house of God, that they can point it out and turn cameras on and start showing us, look what they do. We know Jehovah's Witnesses and so many other people been doing it. Now y'all want to be offended because on top of the Israelites and the Sabbath, now Seventh-day Adventists, they getting heavy rotation now. They getting in heavy rotation about clean and unclean and about the Sabbath and everything. We wouldn't hear from Seventh-day Adventists like that heavy till the Israelites started blowing shots at us. Now we got more people blowing at us. We better make sure we can't just be ducking and ducking and shucking and jiving. We got to make sure, listen, they all right about A, B, C, and D. We're going to adjust that. Once in a while, I get somebody to come through and say, oh, my church, we don't do none of that. But it's not enough of y'all. It's not enough of y'all. A lot of y'all still doing what y'all want to do. And the things that you're practicing, you want to get upset at Beyonce. At least she practicing African stuff. Stuff y'all practicing is pagan, Celtic, European, German, Roman, Italian. I better not see near one of y'all St. Patrick. I'm getting out of here right now. Because you black folk want to run around here and lift up all these other folk and then want to shoot down them and want to shoot them folk down. And y'all painted up all green. Y'all all up in happy hour with your co-workers talking about, oh, I don't see color. You don't see color, you're a sick puppy. I shouldn't have said that. I'm getting out of here, y'all. I'm going to finish this bathroom and I'm going home to get ready. But we're going to talk tomorrow. We're going to talk in private and we're going to talk real, real good. I got some good stuff to talk about, but the haters will try to go get a conference. They'll get on Zoom and 4, 5, 6 of them and try to blow shots. Trust me, as soon as I get off right here, they're going to try to start dropping some memes and dropping little sayings on Facebook. Nobody, listen, I'm not playing with y'all. Don't make me say y'all name. Y'all better be right and exact. Y'all say that tree ain't pagan. Y'all, before I even put it out, y'all say that tree ain't pagan. Y'all say that egg ain't pagan. And y'all said Romans 14, let every man be persuaded every day. There's neither male or... Y'all said that. All right, if y'all said it, well, okay, we're going to see. You're going to see. Don't get yourself embarrassed now. I'm out here to embarrass folk. Don't get yourself embarrassed. Don't get yourself embarrassed. I got them I got them other things where y'all ran to get the white people and y'all put the white people blogs up and said what the white people said. I got all of that stuff and we're going to see. But we're going to talk in private first. Me and the camp, we're going to talk in private. Me and them people, we're going to talk in private and we're going to put it out because I got some stuff lined up. Them hammers are loaded. A lot of people arguing. There's some things in Christianity. A lot of people arguing there's some things in Christianity that was not original. It's like a snowball. This stuff just got added in and added in and added in as it rolled down the hill. But y'all saying that's not what it was. And it's not really this, it's that, it's really something else. You can't explain away all of this stuff. Y'all can play with me if y'all want to and hide behind them MDivs and them letters. And shout out to everybody got an MDiv. THD, PhD, Oxford, all of that high, whatever them high degree. You can go high at a thermometer, high as you want to. But boy, if that truth ain't lining up with the spirit of Yah is saying in this hour, we don't want it. We don't care how many members you got. We don't care how many followers you got. We don't care how much you raise on them, on all of them, all that offering and all that. We don't care. No, we don't care about none of that stuff. We don't care about them lives and that Greek and that. We don't care about none of that. If we could show and prove something and y'all saying something different, we got a problem. We're going to separate ourselves from y'all. We're going to name y'all. We're going to name y'all. Y'all a regular church. Maybe the regular church is the devil. Maybe the regular church is the one he wants us about. And them other people that y'all label radicals and people that's rebellious, maybe those are the ones trying to walk closer to the cross and closer to Christ. And y'all labeling them because y'all want to do what y'all want, because y'all got a demonic influence from Rome. Maybe y'all are Babylon. Maybe y'all are Babylon. And I noticed that when it even come to the trees and all of this other stuff, they just look for certain leaders, certain bosses, and then the minions will run around and make, well, I heard him say this, so I'm going to say this. And they're going to make a video because they want to get to the conference. They want to be in the clique. They want to, all of this is gang life. All of this, they trying to bang, and they want to bang to let the hitters and the OGs and Attica and Clinton know we putting in work on these streets. That's all this is. All of this stuff is I can't even talk like I want to talk. How can I say that in a Christian way? Because I know how can I say, a lot of this is jock riding. This ain't going out for the kingdom of Christ. This is some jock riding and want to be part of a clique, because we got cliques and stuff in church. You can't want to be part of a clique if you want to be down with truth, if you want to seek what the master is saying, and not in this hour. Not in this COVID hour, not in this satanic, not in this manipulative hour. You can't do it. If you want to follow him, you got to follow him. Everybody on this side of truth, come follow me. Ain't that what the master said? Yeah, but y'all want to give me something else. Y'all want to give me something else, but we don't want to return the sender. All right, y'all, I'm going to do these bathrooms so I can get up out of here. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. BeranTeach@gmail.com.